Bourbon Boys podcast, extended St. Patrick's Day. All right. So I'm getting you guys over there. CT's joined us. I have both microphones. I got to check. All I got to do is check on. I got that. Yeah.
Stacey, you're right. It was a long weekend, being that I think a lot of people started doing things Friday and all the way through Monday. But it's never a bad thing.
All right, I got to see if I'm actually in here. I am. I'm close to that. Now I'm going to check YouTube. We're live on YouTube, so 8:30 perfectly. I've shared to all the groups. We could. All I got to do. Okay.
I messed that up. Went the wrong way.
What is going on here? All right. No, I'm okay. Let's go. YouTube. I should be live. Oh, the Bua is live. You got the Bua, right? Yes, you do. Now, did you have that white label too? Right?
But the black one is it's half gone. I'm hoping to have it finished by the end of the week.
I'm going to have to get one. I'll try a different place up here.
I know on the OHLQ it is listed. So if you go on the OHLQ and look for that bottle, it is on there.
All right. It just depends on if it got up here. That's all. Thanks, Dom. Welcome, everyone. Leave where you're from and tell us what you're sipping on. We monitor comments.
Well, it was the Maker's Green Glen works perfect for St. Patty's Day, by the way.
Does it?
Yeah, it's a heck of a Glen. I love this glass, but it's perfect for St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, I agree. I barely unpacked. I barely unpacked it. So that's where we're at with that.
Hey, Stacey, I can't believe you haven't opened the Black Bua yet.
All right. So really quick with our sponsors, because our sponsors are coming through for us strong. We've got Whiskey Thief Distilling in Frankfort, Kentucky, and also Louisville in the Nulu area with their tasting room. I was just down there with Walter. It is rocking. They've got band music, classical jazz music, rock bands, and then also the tasting room there's a full bar, and it's a barrel pick every day. And just like it is out at the farm, you go out at the farm distillery, you get such a great experience, especially this summer. We're going to look forward to it. Kick back on their patio area where you could smoke cigars. They've got fire pits. They've got cornhole. They've got a food truck. They've got live music. So no matter which place that you go, remember, Whiskey Thief Distilling Company is great people, and everything there is uncut and unfiltered, just like we are. And then also Middle West Spirits in Columbus, Ohio. They're opening up right now, and they're in phase 1 of their giant distillery that they're putting out, but their craft distillery and the service bar restaurant are still open at their original distillery for fantastic spirits. You can't go wrong. And what they're doing and how they're evolving is amazing. Then we also have the Spirit of French Lick. Make sure you check that out down in French Lick, Indiana. That's what Alan Bishop has. His legacy still lives on, even though he has moved on. And but you got to check out Spirit of French Lick down there. Their stuff of the Lillian Sinclair that we have, our barrel pick, still available along with our William Dalton. So if you're interested in the Spirit of French Lick, contact me. I can hook you up. Along with then Rosewood Bourbons and Ryes. Jason Giles, although he's on a little bit of a in-between, if you see one on the shelf, make sure you pick it up, because that is their Kentuckian and their Indianan bourbons are fantastic. They get aged a season down there after they were distilled and aged originally in Kentucky and Indiana. And then not last, you have Alan Bishop. If you have Ghost, you have everything. And the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute, Alan does a fine job. Plus, he is now the master distiller, and they are distilling at the old Homestead Distillery in Patoka Lake, Indiana. If you get over there, check it out, see him, but you got to listen to his podcast and his YouTube. If you have anything to do with distilling, make sure you check out. If you have ghosts, you have everything in one piece at a time. Distilling Institute. Did I get it all? I mean, we could
you get old Joe?
Yeah, but we do that in the barrel. We should do the barrel. Throw one in, and we can do the. Let me think. The barrel bottle. Oh my God! The barrel bottle.
Breakdown.
What? Breakdown. Thank you. I'm a little bit fried getting back into this. Yeah, we'll do the barrel bottle breakdown on the first Bua. Let's do that since we both have it. But I'm sure on the new one, you're going to tell me how much better it is. That's
I'll tell you. Martin will tell you. Whoever will tell you. But it's Martin and Pat aren't wrong. That bottle is a step up for sure.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of the other stuff too, but let's get the podcast started now that I got the and then we can get this going. All right, because your time is limited, right?
It is.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna hit start recording. Drinking bourbon, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild and it's sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, it's all songs, love to tell you the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon boys, raising your hell and making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon boys, we're here to have fun and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun. All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tiny here, fresh off his vacation, and would you call it? It was maybe podcation. And then also we've got CT here. Thank you tonight, CT, for coming on and making this special extended version of St. Patrick's Day. Kind of
whatever I can do to extend St. Patty's Day, I am in.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do tonight. And remember, www.Scotchy Bourbon Boys for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys, t-shirts, Glens, check it out. And then also we are on all the major podcast formats, Apple, iHeart, Spotify, and anywhere you listen. Also, we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, and hopefully soon TikTok if they can work out what they're going to do with that. If it goes all American, I'm in. So anyways, with that said, make sure that you like, listen, subscribe, leave good feedback and comment. So, there you go. So we got that covered and we're ready to go. So let's talk about St. Patrick's Day. The last couple St. Patrick's Days, we kind of spent it with Matt Lizen. Hey, Matt. A toasted in a Valencia. He's got a toasted in a Valencia with him. Somewhere is my the one that Stacy likes. Which Bua was that? It was the wine finished one. Oh,
Stacy likes the orange bottle.
Yeah. Somewhere my orange bottle is here. I know I didn't give that one away. I gave the other one away, but I went out today and I picked up this barrel, the first OHLQ single barrel that they did, which was finished in an Irish stout barrel, which you've got there. I've just opened that up and we've got that to talk about. And that's why we want to talk about Bua. So let's give a little history of Bua. I mean, you've talked to Pat and you've talked to Martin, and they kind of
That's a great story. I mean, and they're local. It's kind of funny. I set some Tullamore Dew out here, and that's Martin's history goes back to Tullamore Dew when he was a rep for them. And I could be off on this, but from what I understand from Martin and Pat is, Pat had the bar there, Burns Pub in Columbus, and obviously likes Irish whiskey, and Martin was his rep from Tullamore Dew and came in, and they were good friends. And like anything, you start talking about what ifs. What would it be like if you had your own brand? And so they embarked on Bua. And it's pretty cool because, like I go around to different bars and restaurants, Columbus, Dayton, and you don't see Bua much, but I've always been a pretty big advocate of it because it is local. And even though Jameson and those brands are big and, obviously own a huge market share, it's nice to see brands like Bua, like JJ Corey, which Stacy will probably be talking about soon because we'll have them on the podcast in the next week or two. There's a lot of good small brands, but Jameson and Tullamore Dew and some of them just kind of take the stage, and these other brands don't get seen as much. But I think we're all a little partial to Bua because of Martin and the relationship that they have with our community in our area. So. And Pat is just as nice a guy as ever. I was with Pat last night. We went to Burns Pub for a little while, and Pat immediately is like, "I think we're supposed to be on in a Saturday or two." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yep.
And I don't even know how he could function at that point in the night after everything and all the festivities going on. But the fact that he even recognized who I was walking around, it was kind of nice, and just shows you their level of. They care about everybody. It's not just putting a brand out there trying to make money. They're trying to create friends and give people a reason to come to a brand.
Well, what's unique about this brand is yes, he worked for Tullamore Dew, and he then sat around with Pat a lot, and they came up with, well, let's start an Irish whiskey brand. I don't know how many Irish whiskeys there are that they basically are in the States, and then they use their connections in Ireland to distill and get the brand going, and then distribute mainly in Ohio, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, it's they definitely have a stronghold in Ohio. And we'll find out more when we talk to Martin and Pat here in the next week or two. But I'm not sure how many states they're in right now.
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure it's Ohio, but I could be wrong. But how many bars have a brand?
Go and drink their brand,
and it's an Irish whiskey brand, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but.
And Burns Pub is, and Stacy could comment on this too, is an old school pub. That's why we went there last night. It's not only the friendship of Pat and Martin, but it's where you want to be on St. Patty's Day. It's that old pub feel. You're getting a black and tan. You're getting some Irish red beers, and then you're chasing it with a shot of Bua. And they had the black label, they had the white, they had the orange, they had them all, and you could get a pour of anything you want. The black is going quick, I can tell you that. It's people are finding out how good that bottle is, and I think it's $44.95 for something that has that much complexity, as opposed to just a standard, like their blue label, which I like as a Irish whiskey. It's completely different. So
Well, and it's a stout finish, Irish stout finish. I mean, how, I just feel that Irish whiskey, when it gets finished, does a lot better than bourbon, because bourbon, you have to have like you have to have it be like a finish, like a complement to the bourbon, because the bourbon's so strong forward. But I feel Irish whiskey can be a 50-50 partner. You know what I mean? And so that's a big difference. Now, what's the proof on the new bottle? Because on this one we're talking about 123.
that can't be right. So I was looking at that earlier. So when I was drinking the black label, and Martin and I were talking last night, he said you got to be careful because that extra 7 proof will sneak up on you. So the new one is 94 proof. I think that the other one, the label is wrong, because you're right. I was looking at this today and I'm like, wait a second.
Well, but
That's
just remember, this is a single barrel. So so when they released this as a single barrel, they didn't proof it down.
It says 122 proof. Now, I would need Martin to confirm.
161 and a half, so it's actually 123.
So I'm not 100% sure on that, but
I mean, when you're talking now from the Bua, then they were shipping it over. That's actual. They did a blend, so there's a lot of it. It wasn't just a single barrel. Where this was just
black label,
right, the black label. So I'm excited for that, because that's more of the.
This is going to join their core lineup. So like the blue label, that's their standard. This will now join the core lineup, whereas the white label, like you said, was a single barrel, and I'm sure that we'll see some more stuff like that. So
yeah, that's for sure. I mean, we're going to see it because what Martin, now if anybody, Martin Kennedy, he is a very, very Irish. It's an expectation of what you think an Irish man would be. He's not an older man, but a younger guy. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like he's got, I don't know how to put it. It's just he fits the bill. When
I think if anybody watched the podcast last year that saw us at Burns Pub, you definitely get that vibe, and he's very passionate about it too. He was so excited for this black label to get to the United States, and kept texting. It's oh, it got held up. Oh, it's coming. Oh, it got held up. And then when it finally hit, I think the text he sent me was, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm at work." And he said, the shipment came in, and he said, I'm getting ready to crack it in about 10 minutes. And I said, well, I can't get there. I'm at work. So he was pretty excited. I know.
He contacted me initially, and he was talking about us coming down, and I was like on board, but I knew I had the vacation, and then there was so we were going to do it, hope like the week before I left, go down early, but it hadn't come in. So I'm like, okay. So I'm going to New York this weekend, so that I'll be going then. We're hoping to get down there on like the 28th, I think Saturday the 28th or the 27th or whatever it is. I'm not sure, but we should try and get down there, and we'll get down there and do a nice Saturday morning, thing.
Yeah.
But all right, so do you want to? I think the OHLQ one, which is still anybody in Ohio, if you're interested and you like, and you're in the States and you like this, I would be